Well, inventing something new. Inspiration is a lot of hard work, and when it takes to making your vision come to an actual reality.
And that's exactly what one local woman accomplished as she won a big award for her invention. In Carolina in the Morning, Lindsay Curtin live this morning with more on the snoozeball. Interesting.
Yes, Kim, we're here talking about the snoozeball, and it's all about being comfortable on an airplane. How many times have you been on an airplane and you yourself or you've seen someone else look completely contorted trying to be comfortable? It's a mess. So we are here with Susan Haynes. She is a gold medal winner. We have all her credentials right here from the INPEX invention show. It's the biggest invention trade show in America.
Yes, it is.
Earlier in June, you won gold medal in one of the categories and for your snoozeball.
Yes.
It's just an inflatable ball. You put your arms in and you sit in your lap and you rest your head, and it's good for your shoulders. It doesn't pull on your shoulders. And tell me really quickly, there she goes, about how
it's going for a flight.
how you came up with this idea. It has to do with your friends traveling with you.
Yes, I was on a 13-hour ride, airplane trip, and it was in the winter time. The plane was just packed full, and so everybody didn't know where to put their winter coat. And so I was just being kind. I said, give them to me, I'll hold them for a while. So I had this whole stack of winter coats on my lap, and soon I found myself just going like this and put my head down, and I slept for 5 solid hours.
Wow.
And my friends were chilly from the air conditioning, but they didn't have the heart to wake me up. So
and that's where it all
started.
It's just a simple idea. You know, it's an inflatable ball where you just rest your head. It's an easy concept, but it's all about serving a need is what made you win this gold medal.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, is finding a need and creating something to help fill that need.
And this is so, I mean, you don't have to worry about resting your head against the window or trying to put your sweatshirt on the tray, and hunch over. You can't do that.
That's not very sanitary either.
Exactly, and it's perfect. And we're going to go ahead and send it back to you guys in just a second. A little bit later in the show, Susan and I will be talking about, what it takes to be an inventor, what steps you have to take if you have this motivation, if you have a dream. She's following hers right now, so we'll tell you what it takes to be an inventor. We're going to send it back to you.
Snoozeball look pretty comfortable, but I'm not so sure we should be.
Yeah, as you say, at this time of day, you give me anything soft and I'm out. I am just done. But I got my eye on the Steeler one.
I saw that.
I saw the Pittsburgh black and gold over there.
I guess we'll talk to her a little bit more about the designs. It looks like you might be able to pick your own, so great. A woman from here in Wilmington is the brain behind what could be the next big thing.
Yeah, INPEX is America's largest invention trade show, and Susan Haynes just won the gold medal for her very own invention. It's called the snoozeball. Carolina in the Morning's Lindsay Curtin live in studio this morning, telling us more about the big idea, that is, if she's still awake. Lindsay, wakey, wakey.
I could sleep through a tornado, Bob. Anyways, yes, the snoozeball, it's a dangerous thing to have here on the morning show, considering we get to work at 3:30 in the morning, but we are here with Susan Haynes. You are one of the gold medalists from the INPEX Invention Convention in Pittsburgh. It's the biggest invention trade show in the country, and your idea, the snoozeball, this is the next big thing for people on an airplane. It started from your friends piling a bunch of coats in your lap during a flight, and you got 5 hours of sleep, and they're like, I want to be able to sleep like you. So tell me, what's the next big step? First off, before I ask you that, there are 3 ways to put your hands on the snoozeball. Tell us about that.
That's correct. You can put them through the tunnel, as you have demonstrated there.
Okay.
You can put them underneath the pillow top and sit like a child on a school desk. Or my personal favorite is this way, with the cover and the Velcro gloves.
Perfect.
You can take the Velcro gloves, place them anywhere that feels comfortable to you,
and it doesn't
and put your head down, and it takes all the tension off your shoulders.
And and people are all about the logos. I would definitely go for a Cincinnati Bengals, a University of Kentucky logo. I mean, that's a great idea you have there, and it's all about comfort and filling the spot where there's a need.
Absolutely, and the personalization is nice. And the children's ones, I have some for children that have monkeys on the front, or a beetle bug.
So you are you live right here in Wilmington, and we could be seeing these things all over the place. You haven't started selling them yet. You're still pretty early in the stage of things, in the process of things. But I mean, how does it feel to know that this big idea you had, you've actually been told by people through your gold medal this could be something big. How does it feel to have that?
It's exciting. It's just truly exciting just to see your little creation, your little baby start to take off.
Exactly. And, like I mentioned in our last live segment, and I'm going to tell you now, you definitely want to stay tuned for the 6 o'clock hour, because we're going to tell you what it takes to take your big idea and make it a reality, just like Susan here has done. So be sure to stick around for that. We're going to send it back to you.
I can see that being pretty popular. I love the gloves and the Velcro.
Yeah, at first I thought maybe she had a tea time coming up at like 7 o'clock. She's going to go ahead and
terrible.
get there on the links. It's just the simplest things from time to time, and they turn into ideas.
And
like
everyone
this.
says, "Why didn't I think of that?"
I know. I was told when we had our children that you hear a lot of inventions are based on things, because if a kid will use it,
Yep.
everyone will use it.
Yep.
But
And parents are always looking for things
it can be
for their
as
children,
simple
that's
as
for sure.
sleeping on some coats on a plane.
Definitely.
If those could help conk the kids out, then it's really big thing.
We're
on
onto
trips,
something there.
You know? Oh, it looks comfortable. Wow.
You've probably had some great ideas for inventing the next big thing, but actually making it happen, that's the hard part. Well, a woman from here in Wilmington just won a pretty big award for her own invention, and she's sharing some of her secrets with us. Carolina in the Morning's Lindsay Curtin in the studio right now with Susan Haynes, who is the inventor of the snoozeball. We're all a big fan.
That's right, Kim. Yes, the snoozeball. It's all about making your travel experience a little bit more comfortable. She won a gold medal at the INPEX show. That's America's largest invention trade show in Pittsburgh. She got a gold medal for this item, the snoozeball. It's an inflatable item. You can put your hands outside of it, inside of it, underneath this thing. There's Velcro gloves there. And this is incredible, and I wanted to ask you really quickly about the fact you're working to make this even more travel friendly, because they're lugging around enough stuff in the airport as it is.
Absolutely. The deflatable device will automatically deflate and automatically inflate, so it'll make it super easy. You can just deflate it, and then this will fit inside of the cover, which will be folded with a little handle so that you just flip the whole thing over your carry-on.
It's like carrying a flattened beach ball through the airport. That's nothing.
Exactly.
And you've taken this on a flight, so it is TSA friendly. It's
yes,
perfect.
very, very much so.
Now, you said you have 3 main things to share with our viewing audience if they have a big idea and they want to expand it based on what you've learned at the show in this whole process. What are those 3 things?
Well, personally for me, I think the idea of licensing a product, if you have one simple idea and you want to see it go somewhere, licensing is the way to go, rather than trying to manufacture it on your own and go into a business, because most marketing places aren't interested in just one product. They want to deal with somebody that has 100 products.
Right.
So if you get a company to license it, that's my goal.
Okay.
Secondly, don't put a lot of money into a prototype. If you can find something in your kitchen or in your shop and just kind of put it together to prove that it works, that's all you need. You don't need to put a lot of money into it.
Okay. And the third tip is believe in yourself. You couldn't find a lot of people, a lot of inflatable companies who would do this for you, because they want to sell, they want to make 500. They don't want to make just one for you to use as an example. But you put the pedal to the metal and you found someone who would make this for you, and now this is your chance to take this and make it even bigger. You found someone who is willing to work with you to create this item, and here we are today. And I appreciate you coming in. We're going to be live here a little bit later talking a little bit more about what it takes to take your big idea and make it a reality. But for now, we're going to send it back to you guys.
Could rename that part of that studio the comfort zone. That looks really comfy over there this morning. Thank you, guys.
Inventing something new, inspiration, a lot of hard work, typically some of the ingredients it takes to make your vision a bit of a big reality.
And that's exactly what one local woman accomplished as she won an award for her invention. Carolina in the Morning's Lindsay Curtin live telling us about the snoozeball and the woman who invented it. Lindsay.
Well, good morning, Kim. When you think of getting a great night's snooze, you usually think of sleeping on a plane or a bus or in the back of the car, right? Wrong. No, it's a nightmare, right? When you try to fall asleep. So that's why Susan Haynes, a Wilmington woman, got a gold medal from INPEX. It's the largest invention trade show in the country. You got that gold medal for the snoozeball. Tell us all about it. It started off on a plane ride with your friends and they put all their coats in your lap.
Yes, they put all of their coats on my lap and suddenly I noticed that I was going like this and laid my head down, and I ended up sleeping for 5 solid hours. And my friends wanted their coats back, but they were too, they didn't want to wake me up.
So the key thing here is you realize there is a need there. After all these neck pillows and stuff that are out there, there's still a need for a good night's rest on a plane. And there are different ways you can put your hands. You can put them on the inside, you can wrap them around the top, around the neck, and you can get the kind with the fabric and the gloves.
Yes, by using the Velcro gloves on the fabric like this, it totally takes all the strain off the shoulders. The gravitational pull of the arms on the back of the neck and the shoulders is what really tires you out.
So you don't have a background in business or marketing. You just had this big idea and you decided you were going to make it a reality. And there were a lot of big, fancy, schmancy inventors. George Foreman Grill, the Build-A-Bear, the inventor there. So we're going to talk about the biggest lessons you learned a little bit later in the show. But for now, what do you think, what's your next step with all of this?
Well, I have several licensing companies looking at it, and I'm waiting for some contracts to come through. And then I'm also been talking to some direct TV channels that are interested in showing it. So.
Perfect. And you see these shows like Shark Tank, and it's intimidating, and people have to go through this, all this work to get their stuff out there, which is true. It takes a lot of hard work, but you are a living, breathing example that you can take your idea and just take these steps to make it happen. It's happening for you now, and congratulations on winning that gold medal. We're going to talk to Susan a little bit later in the show about what it takes to make your invention and to get it out there on the market, and what she learned at the invention convention as well. But for now, we're going to send it back to you.
Those look really comfortable.
Can you sleep on a plane?
I have a hard time sleeping on a plane.
Yeah,
because it is uncomfortable.
I'm a nervous flyer, so anything that I can use to get me relaxed like that.
My biggest fear is always sitting next to a stranger and accidentally getting on their
They're
shoulder.
sleeping on you?
No, I'm sleeping on them, and I don't ever want that to happen. So I don't know.
Well, I love the testimony, though. From the pile of coats, which the snoozeball mimics, a 5-hour nap. That's a pretty good nap.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
and you kind of want to sleep on a plane, especially for a long flight. Sounds like she had a pretty long flight.
Yeah. You wake up around the world. You make it there. Just take a snooze.
A woman from Wilmington now, the brain behind what could be the next big thing. INPEX is America's largest invention trade show, and Susan Haynes, she brought home gold for an invention of her very own. It's called the snoozeball. Lindsay Curtin live in the studio this morning with said ball, telling us more about the big idea. And Lindsay, I'm impressed that neither one of you has fallen asleep this entire morning.
That's what 2 big old cups of coffee will do for you, Bob. Gotta love it. Yes, so we're talking about the snoozeball, and just to give you an idea of INPEX, the biggest invention show in the country. Ever heard of the George Foreman Grill? Mr. George Foreman was there. Ever heard of Build-A-Bear, that store in the mall? Maxine Clark, that inventor, she was there as well to talk to these people who have these big ideas, like our guest here, and they want to turn their idea into a reality. Susan Haynes, you're the inventor of the snoozeball. It's all about creating comfortability when traveling. You can wrap your arms around the top, put your arms on the inside, put on your sticky gloves right there. And I wanted to ask you just about how you're still working on making this even more travel friendly.
Absolutely. The ball will have a self-inflatable valve and self-deflatable valve, and then so it'll just be like the size of a smashed up beach ball, basically. Then that would all go inside of the cloth cover, and then you would just fold the cover, and then there's a little handle, and the handle will flip over your carry-on.
And that's perfect. You've used this on an airplane already. It's airport friendly, and like you said, it's going to be like a smashed up beach ball. Really easy.
Yes.
Really excited for your journey of taking this dream and making it a reality. So really quick, the 3 steps people should remember if they want to follow the same path you're on right now with their big idea.
Well, some of the things I learned at INPEX was licensing is probably the way to go. If you have one simple idea, try to find a manufacturer that will license it for you. It'll save you a lot of big bucks trying to go on out and manufacture it on your own.
Okay.
Patent, paying for a big patent, everybody's afraid to tell their idea for fear somebody will steal it. But you don't want to put $10,000 into a patent off the top. You don't know if the item will even market. So try a provisional patent. It's only going to cost you between $65 to $110.
Okay.
And that keeps you safe for a year.
Perfect.
So That's one.
You also talked about the one last piece of advice they gave you at Impex is naming the item. A lot of
Yes.
people want to, name it after their dog or something they love that means a lot to them. But tell me what advice they give you.
That is not a good thing to do. Don't try to name it after yourself or someone that you love or whatever. Name it specifically so that people in just a few seconds will determine what it is and what it's used for.
And that's incredible. These aren't really on the market yet for mass sale, but as you can see with this one, you're just on the track of so much popularity because people would love to get like their college logo printed on the front. I could see this in all the airports, Wilmington, North Carolina,
Sure.
that kind of thing. So best of luck to you, and stick around and please talk to us as you continue on this journey. And we also have the details for you on our website, boxwilmington.com, if you'd like to read more on how to make your big idea a reality. And we're also going to put the Impex website.
And one more thing, yes, I strongly suggest Impex, and there's also a website called inventhelp.com. They're trustworthy. You can really work with them.
Perfect.
That's important.
We'll add that to our website as well. Thank you, Susan. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And we're going to send it back to you guys.
All right, guys, did you ever have something you thought, I think I might have something here?
Probably, but it's like fleeting.
Yeah.
I can't even think of it right now. I'm more like somebody should really do something about X, Y, or Z, and then I move on.
Yeah, I was doing stuff around the
Nothing
house
like
yesterday.
that. That's impressive.
And there was something as simple as, it was like an aerosol nozzle, a pump sprayer,
Okay.
that you just jacked into a lemon, and you could spray the lemon juice out of it.
So you saw that someone had,
Yeah.
or you were, oh, okay.
It's out there now. I don't know if it's out there to purchase, but it was someone's idea that they went to a group and that group manufactures it, and to see if there's. But it was, really, it was literally as simple as taking something off of a bottle and just plugging it into a piece of fruit, and they were showing it for use in kitchens.
So like it would harvest the lemon juice
It would take the juice
automatically.
just out and just.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
And it's just one of those things that really it was that simple.
That's fresh.
And they're going to sell this, for $4.99 everywhere, and this person's going to.
That's
rolling
right.
on it.
Count cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Well, more power to the
Sure.
inventors. Need that brain
Yes.
work going on.